Yo, what's up everyone, it's TyranitarTube and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon live discussion video. Now, the news just doesn't stop. Extra screenshots has been revealed in this week's Pokenchi stream, which I'll explain in a bit, but the official Japanese Pokemon site may have just leaked the final typings for the 3 starter Pokemon. So let me show you. So go to pokemon.co.jp and push enter and you'll be brought to the official Japanese Pokemon site. Now, here they've updated it with new details now that Sun and Moon is internationally revealed. And they've got starter details here. So if you click right here, it takes you to the official Sun and Moon page, which looks really cool. In Japanese here, it says November 18th. It gets released internationally. Sorry, Europe. This was the site that accidentally leaked something. So if you scroll down, they talk about the starters. You can watch the trailer. And then they show you the 3 starter Pokemon and, of course, the additional art drawn for them. Now, to understand these leaks, it's going to get a bit confusing. So try to stay with me. So let's say Masuda has all the Sun and Moon information in his bag. And he pulls out props to reveal things to us. And let's say he wanted to reveal the starters in person to us at E3 by pulling out props of each of the starters out of his bag. Now, what would happen if he left his bag at E3? Everything in Sun and Moon would leak. So what should he do to avoid that? Only bring what he's gonna talk about in his bag. Only bring the starters to E3, so that if anyone does reach their hand in the bag, they can't pull out anything new. For example, when it comes to this page, all the images of this page are in a little bag, and someone who knows how to look into a site can put their hand in the bag and pull out these images. So if per chance they decided to put extra images in that bag, we can find them, and that's the leak they did. I'm so hoping you understood that. So let me open up Roulette. Hey Roulette, you look great. So if I Google translate this, you get the name, the classification, the height, weight, type, and then a characteristic. It's a Verder. So if you notice, Roulette is listed as a grass flying type, Litten is listed as just a fire type, and Popplio is listed as a water type. These are the extra images that they put on the site. So now, if you load up the bag of images, you'll be able to see every single picture that's on this site here. Now, Game Freak is smart and they don't put pictures of all the Pokemon on the internet because they know people can reach their hands in. But they may have screwed up right here. So of course, you've got artwork of Mokuro and all that. And if you go down here, you've got its typings. Now, I'm gonna open its typing in a new window, and you'll notice this is icon number 1. Now, if I replace this to icon number 2, you get the flying type. So the first 2 types are grass and flying. Let's keep going. So if you look now, I've stretched it out and there is no icon 7. So that means there are only 6 icons that are still in the little bag. Let me show you what they are. The first one is grass and flying. Then you get ground and fire. And then you get water and fighting. And there's only 6 typings on the site. Are these the official typings for the last evolution of these 3 starters? A water fighting type, a fire ground type, and a grass flying type. Holy crap, that is a sick trio. I know by fire ground you're super weak to Popplio, but dude, a water fighting type sounds amazing. We only have 2 of them, Poliwrath and Keldeo. To actually have a starter type that's water and fighting, that means when Popplio evolves, it'll probably look less majestic and more combat suited. But that is super epic. So you guys sent me a lot of amazing artwork for these 3. So I'll try to find suitable artwork for a water fighting type, a fire ground type, and a flying grass type. It's gonna be so cool to have a full wing spread owl, to have an actual, like, how could you imagine Popplio turning into a fighting type? It just looks so frail right now, but that is so cool to have a water fighting type. You know, Popplio really does remind me of Froakie and Greninja, especially when you look at how it looks like in-game. It really does remind me of Greninja, which is why I really like it. It's a seal, not a frog. It's interesting because by making Litten's final evolution a fire ground type, it's just like Empoleon. It no longer resists the typing it's good against, and it's a target for the typing it sucks against. It's 4 times weak to it. So now one thing is the typing is out of order. So it's almost like you can say this, but you can't say it with a confirmed mind. So when you say Litten's final evolution could be fire ground, you don't actually know who that ground could go towards. It makes the most sense in this layout with water fighting, fire ground, and grass flying. But the order could change, but I'm not saying an owl's gonna suddenly, like, be on the ground and start digging. Now, I gotta say, every time Pokemon updates their site, I always do this. I always go through and look at all the images and mess around with the URLs to maybe find more information. But this time, I wasn't the one who found this. Someone beat me to it. His name is The Lagoon22 on Reddit. He wins. He beat me to it. I would have done it either way. Stop denying my credit. I would have done it either way. He was just like a few hours earlier, okay? So credit to him. So according to Draco Jewel on Reddit, apparently it makes the most sense for fire ground because of the way it's said in Japanese. So right now, it's looking good with these three being the final starter typings. And it's so cool that we have this. It's so cool that we have the typing, and now we get to see how these starters grow and evolve to match these typings. When you pair up these typings with these artworks, dude, this looks so cool. I want that owl. Freaking Mokuro, or whatever you call it, Rowlet. I want Rowlet's final evolution so bad. So I want to hear it from you guys. What do you think about these typings? And then what abilities do you think they could have? What do you think they would turn into? Could Litten turn into a tiger or a lion that digs and travels through the ground? Maybe. Maybe it's going to be like a Diglett. It just digs super speedy. But let's leave it there and move on to the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is the Pokenchi stream. Pokenchi aired yesterday, and this is what they gave us. It's not a lot, but it's quite different than what we got in the trailer. We actually get a gameplay screenshot of us versing our rival in battle. Now, if you notice, in conjunction with the trailer, the Japanese trailer, if you watched, was a little boy who has no friends. He moves to Hawaii, and he makes friends with someone playing the game in English, and the boy chooses the starter that's better against the boy he met. And when you look at this screenshot here, you choose the Pokemon that is better than our supposed rival. So the trailer, if you look into it, can show a lot more. But it's cool to see an indoor epic new location, because if you don't know, Sun and Moon have enhanced graphics both in the overworld with how the character models look and in game. The backgrounds are a lot more, they have so much more life in them. Like this one, we're indoors, there's fire in the background. You would not have gotten that in X and Y. You barely would have gotten that. You can see there's some spectators, and these guys are just looking at the image. But the biggest thing you'll notice is the HP bar. It's so colorful and pops up in your face, and if you notice, it actually gets wider as it goes here and loses color as it goes here. You gotta love how it looks so simple yet looks so beautiful. And another thing is, if you look, this scratched out background behind the HP bar is green. Maybe that color corresponds to the typing of your Pokemon, and it's gonna be green for Rowlet and red for Litten. It's so epic to see such a cool looking HP bar. Like, I'm so excited for them to show us like gym leader battles, the evil team. Maybe the evil team has a slight variation and they've got like their emblem here. Like for Team Flare, their emblem would be here to represent their role in Team Flare. There's so many things to look forward to. So anyways, guys, that is all the time for this video. Guys, we know they're very likely final typings, which is insane. I want you guys to tell me what you think about the three starters and the evolution typings they're gonna gain as they reach their final evolution. A water fighting type, a fire ground type, and a grass flying type. That is one of the best trios I've seen since the start. So anyways, be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on more Pokemon Sun and Moon news. There's a lot more videos coming, so as always, keep playing, keep laughing, and as always, keep believing. Peace.